Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 62 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of research in Thaumcraft. I would like to expand my magical powers even further than we have thus far. So we've got a lot of things to get covered today, but I want to come up with some really cool stuff. So first off, I've done some research. Let's see what I got. First off, I got Runic Shielding. This is going to help me in a defensive way. Runic Shielding is a bunch of magical runes and equipment that I can place in my bauble slot that basically protects me from damage, and it's pretty cool, and we'll be taking a look at that soon. There's also some upgrades we can get to that, and oh boy, tons and tons of cool stuff that's unlocked as a result. The next thing I went ahead and researched is the Lamp of Growth, which I definitely wanted to snag. This is going to help make things grow faster in much the same way that watering cans do, but it's a nice automated way to go about it. It does require a little bit of infrastructure to set up, and similar to the Lamp of Growth is this guy, the Lamp of Fertility, which instead of making plants grow, encourages animals to breed. These were just things I wanted to get done because I wanted to make sure. I don't think they have their prerequisites to anything, but I just wanted to kind of knock them out. And then, more warp. I just got myself the Sinister Lodestone. Do I dare follow it? To be honest with you, I'm not super familiar with the Sinister Lodestone. I'm not really sure where it's going to take me and what it's going to do, but we're definitely going to explore this a little bit. Now, something else I went ahead and researched was this nifty thing called Magic Staves. Basically, remember last episode, I made a nifty gadget here, the Silverwood Scepter, which can only be used for crafting, but can't be used for magical, spells and stuff. Well, staves are kind of the opposite. And what these guys let you do is basically they can't be used for crafting, but they're great for attaching stuff to and using as weapons and such. So I came up with the idea that I want to do some complicated stuff with this. So let's take a look. First thing I'm going to need to do is create 2 Silverwood rods and a Primal Charm, and that will get me the Silverwood Staff Core. And then we're going to make a really nice staff, and I would like to check out some more of the advanced forms of wands that we can get. So wand foci, you can see I've upgraded and made myself, completed a few researches here and there so I could get some good stuff. So let me get to crafting, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, so it should be as easy as getting myself a Primal Charm, and then placing these 2 Silverwood staves here, and we've got the Silverwood Staff Core. Sweet. Now we just need to attach a couple caps to this thing, and I'll be ready to use it. So let me craft up a couple caps. One thing I noticed is I don't particularly have an easy way to get, yeah, you know what I don't have an easy way to get? It's thaumium ingots. I wouldn't mind that. So if we take a look in here, the thaumium ingots, as we know, is just, what is it, 4 percantio and an iron nugget. Let's get ourselves another one of these matrices. So brain, 4 amber, 4 iron. That shouldn't be too hard to get our hands on. Can I convert these back? I can. Brains and iron. So I'm going to make another one of those pneumatic matrices and see if we can't teach our automation system downstairs how to make what I want to make. So pneumatic matrix here, pneumatic, I think that's right. Let's see, what's an easy way to plug in here? Or an easy place to plug in, I guess. Yeah, I think the only real spot I have here is the front, but I don't know if the front actually, I guess it can. Cool. So I've got more options now, or no? 3 out of 3, so I guess I can't plug it into the front. Let's do... Is there anywhere else I can plug this thing? Or do I have to make a whole new setup? That's the question. Because I don't think I can actually tap into this thing elsewhere. All the other sides are kind of used. Unless I tried... I don't know if this will work or not, but it's worth a try. Let's make something magical. I actually have no idea if this will work, but we're going to make it anyway, because if we don't use it now, I guarantee we can find a use for it later. Where is my friend the transvector interface? Yes, that's the one I want. Transvector interface. When in doubt, transvector interface. I just need to get these 2 together. That should be easy enough, so I'll just do it on camera. U to Ordo to Vitreous. Transvector interface. Sweet. The transvector interface is a really cool device because it has my name in it, so I like it already. Basically, it allows you to extend a block so that you can hook up more things to it. So we're going to need an order shard, a couple pieces of iron, ender pearl, arcane blocks, lapis, and redstone. 2 of you, 2 of you, a couple pieces of iron, an ender pearl, 4 of these guys, and an order shard, and probably some sticks. So let's go ahead and get one of these guys. So the first thing you're going to want to make is this. That will get you the transvector binder. And the second thing you want to make is this, and this will get you the transvector interface. Cool. What we can do, and I really hope this works. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll live. Let's hook it up and see what happens. What if I were to place it right here? And we're going to bind this thing. So let's take a look at testing this out. So in order for this to work, it pretty much says it extends everything. I don't know if it'll work with the pneumatic matrix or not. You need to create a special tool to do so. Simply right-clicking on the interface, followed by right-clicking on the target. These two get bound and ready for operation. But you can only do this 4 blocks wide. So there's a couple options I can do here, but we'll see. So we will say transvector interface. All right, so there to there, binding complete. If I pop a pneumatic matrix on there now, will this work? No, it won't. That's okay. I've got another plan. We're going to try it here so that we don't have to pipe into this. So watch. I want to test this out real quick. Let's see if by placing it here, all right, so if we bind this to this guy, is this going to allow me to connect here? Nope. All right. Never fear. I have yet another plan. There is one connection that I can go with, and that would be this one. So I'm going to remove this guy. Show me everything. So does this thing have a filter at the moment? I just want to check. It does. The order shard, the charcoal, and the glowstone. So let's remove the filter. We're going to remove this thing. And we're probably going to put it over here. And let's get our transvector binder. This to that. And this direction is south. So let's configure the south side to be an insert with the filters. And what this should do is any items that get piped into the transvector interface will land inside the alchemical construct. And now I should be able to place this thing on here maybe, and nice! I've got 5 options. Cool. So now I should be able to do stuff like the following. And by the way, we're going to want to add iron to this filter, so let's get ready for that in a minute. But let's get this thing. We want one of these, and we're going to want iron as well. So we'll modify the south filter. We'll add iron. Cool. And one of these guys should already have the Percantio thing on it. I'm guessing it's the east one here. No, that gets crystallized essence. All right, so that gets any essence because we're ignoring NBT. So now I should be able to zip back to my base and teach this thing that you hear processing pattern. Clear this out. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus iron yields a thaumium ingot. Encode that pattern downstairs and let's test it to see if that works. The only thing we have to do is add it to the matrix, right? So in here we'll come down, we'll say U. Now we have 4 out of 5, so we can remove this thing, and then we just have to put the pattern into this guy back here. This thing, like that. Cool? So now I should be able to request, let's request 4 of them. You ready? Start. So what this thing should do is start cooking up over here. That's looking good. There we go. Nice. Interesting. Does Chiseled Sandstone now have a little bit changed? We did update the pack, and it looks like I'm getting some Terra and some Perdito here, so that's good to know. It looks like, yeah, there's a lot of Terra and Perdito on Chiseled Sandstone now. Interesting. Alright, let's see how this goes. So this thing should get its iron once we've gotten 4 of these things. I might need to find a better source for Percantio if Chiseled Sandstone has been changed. In fact, let me snag one here and scan it real quick. Oh yeah, look at that, it did change. Okay, good to know. Alright, I'll come back here in a minute once this is done and we'll see if everything worked. Alright, looks like we are just wrapping up with the last of the Percantio here, so this thing should start cooking soon, and we'll see what happens. I guess it's cooking up some of this stuff, so that's fine. Let me take my band off. There we go. And Percantio's going in. Nice, look at that, it's working. Awesome. So you can see the iron did get piped into there, even though we're routing it through the transvector interface. That's the awesomeness that is the transvector interface. Unfortunately, it looks like it doesn't connect to the Essentia tubes, so we do, get limited by that thing. But it's not the end of the world. I could technically make this a little bit easier, but I think for now this will be good, and if we ever need to expand, we have room for 1 more saved research in here, and if we ever want to do even more than that, we can just set up another one of these builds. So that'll be fine. So there we go. Automated thaumium ingots. Nice. Speaking of, let me get back to work doing what I was doing. So let me just drop this stuff off. I don't need you guys anymore, but I do need one of these thaumium ingots. But it's cool that we're auto-crafting them now. And I can even put this thing away. So let me get my stuff here. I'm going to need 1, 2 of these guys. And I'll come back in a minute after I've enchanted them. And with that, guys, we've got a very cool wand. Nice. You can see that was pretty expensive to craft. Good thing I had that awesome scepter there. Let's get this thing charged up, because it's going to need a lot of power filled up on it. I don't even know if we've got enough V and all those things. But while that's cooking, let's get ourselves a nifty bit of magical offensive stuff first. So let's get ourselves, not equal trade, lightning. The lightning one is my personal favorite. So potatoes, quartz, and air shards. That should not be a problem. Potatoes I should definitely have. Quartz, gonna need more of soon, and air shards, not a problem. So this guy, that guy, and those get me the wand focus of shock. Let's also upgrade it. So one of the first things we'll want, frugal, less cost, potency, more damage. Yeah, that's what we're going to want. So for 8 experience levels, I'm going to charge this thing up off camera. If there's any particularly cool upgrades that I want you guys to see, I'll let you know. But I'll come back when he's fully upgraded. For the time being, I'm going to pop back to my base. By the way, I did name all my things. I got tired of not knowing where I was going each time. So it's real easy to do. Just right click and you can name it and do a couple other things here. That's all good. I'm going to need some more experience levels, so I'll come back once I've completely upgraded that thing to the top tier. We're going to need a lot of experience levels for this, so yeah, we'll be back. So guys, once you get to the 3rd tier of the Wand Focus of Shock, you can continue upgrading it for potency, or you have a couple other options now. You can add Chain Lightning effect, which is pretty cool. It will reduce the speed at which the wand fires, but it allows bolts to do more damage and chain up to 2 additional targets. I might want to throw that on there because that sounds kind of cool. The other option is Earth Shock. So instead of it actually being a fired bolt of electricity, it throws like a ball of electrical energy, and then when it hits the ground, it electrifies the ground, and anything that is inside that area winds up taking damage. That's pretty cool too. I think I'm going to try out Chain Lightning though, so that doesn't actually seem too bad. Let's go ahead and do that. Chain Lightning, go. And we'll see how it works out. And I'm going to upgrade the rest of this. I think Potency is the only thing I can put on it again, so I'm going to get this guy upgraded to the top tier of power, and then we will be back to take a look at how cool that is. Let's get ourselves 32 levels in preparation for the next tier of upgrading. And the other thing I wanted to mention, by the way, is this guy. He is currently charged up to, well, not quite full yet. We need a little bit more Ignis. And you'll notice, by the way, remember it can't go into the station here. So there's no way to charge this with our current Wand of Energy thing going on. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's a good thing that we left this whole setup here, because there would be no way to really charge this Silverwood staff, without this setup. So pretty cool. But it's obviously quite a powerful staff. It can hold a lot of stuff. 250 each? Not bad. All right, we will be back in a moment once we're ready to finalize this stuff. Is this thing actually done, by the way? It might be. Nice. That's cool. Chain Lightning. So enlarge. I don't think we need that. Or increases the number of targets affected. I really just want to focus on potency. I want this thing to be super powerful. So that's going to take a while. We'll be back when it's done. Oh, important thing to note. I just noticed this because I was over here and only the middle row of my autonomous activators are working. In the new version of thermal expansion, autonomous activators require RF to function. In previous versions, they did not. And it just so happened that I was running some power conduits under the line here, and that's why the middle line's working. So if you have autonomous activators anywhere, make sure to power them. That's an important thing. There we go, and everything's working now. Cool. Alright guys, after doing a little bit more research, there's something else I want to make. Let's see if I can remember the crafting pattern here. Hopefully I'm correct. Nice, I got my Arcane Bellows. Sweet. That's a device, by the way, that will speed up the burning down of items in this thing over here, but I'm not going to use it for that right now. I'm actually using it in a crafting recipe for the following. Nice. Flux Scrubber. This thing should be pretty cool. Let's see if I place it right there. And we might need to get it hooked up to one of those nifty little node things. Did I run out of those or did I use them all? The V relays. Did I have any more of those? I have one. For now, let's place it right here. I might wind up putting it somewhere else for the time being, but I just want to test it to see if it works. I believe you should connect to this. So the V scrubber should be cleaning up this stuff that's floating around up here. But it doesn't look like it's connecting to the relay. Let's actually do this. You know what, it is scrubbing, I think, because there's less of the flux there at the moment. But it just doesn't look like it's getting that animation, that visual line there indicating that it's running. Or maybe it is actually. It might be similar to the devices downstairs where the line doesn't connect directly to it, but those little particle effects zip over. Nice, because it is cleaning up the flux. Alright, I might just need to find a better way for this to be connected. Or I might wind up moving it. You know what I could do is I could move it. I think it has a radius of about 16 blocks. So hopefully, if I put it somewhere like, maybe I could put it over here. This might not be a terrible spot for it. There we go. Oh look, yeah, the little particle effect just zipped over to it. And that should be able to catch that little bit of nasty taint stuff right there. So we'll give that a minute or two to see if it worked. By the way, is this thing done? It is. Nice. Let's see how this thing is looking. Definitely need a little bit more Ignis, but we've got everything else. So let's tap this guy into our shock guy, and I'm going to take this off here. In fact, at this point, I'm like questioning if I even need to hang on to this thing, but we'll keep it in there for now. I want to go outside and try this. Oh, look at that. Nice. It's definitely slower, but that's okay, because it's more powerful. I mean, 3 shots for your average zombie. That is cool. Nice. I will take this weapon any day. That is very cool. Alright, good to know that the weapon's working, and it's working rather well as a matter of fact. Let's pop back inside here, and yeah, nice, that cleaned up. Cool. By the way, this does produce a small amount of Percantio stuff, V, so if you want to pipe out of it, you can, but I don't think it's necessary. I do have to find a better source for that stuff, but we'll get to that later. Let's, for now, move on to some more interesting mechanics. I need to get myself more warp, as a matter of fact, because I want to start exploring some of the more interesting mechanics, but we're going to need a little bit more warp for this to occur. So let me come back in a minute after I've done some more research into some more of the darker areas of Thaumcraft. So a couple more researches. This guy, Bottled Taint, and this guy, Liquid Death. 2 things that will definitely boost your current warp status. Bottled Taint is interesting. You can clean Taint, but have you ever considered trying to purposely spread it? By concentrating and collecting essence of Taint in a bottle, it's simply a matter of dropping it, and you'll get some Taint. Not sure why you would ever want to do that. Definitely true. Liquid Death, although, is a really kind of neat mechanic. It does require 32 Mortis, 32 Perdicio, and 32 Venom, which is the poisonous aspect. That will get you a bucket of Liquid Death. Basically, it will kill anything that lands in this liquid. Nothing alive or that displays even the semblance of life can survive it. So basically, it's another way to do stuff. It'll also, any Essentia a dissolved creature possesses form into crystals that can be harvested. So you can collect some Essentia crystals from the creatures that you kill with this stuff. So there's definitely some neat things we can do with Liquid Death. But the reason I'm focusing on making that is because I wanted to make sure to get myself some more warp. Alright, let's continue working. So guys, while doing some research here, I did stumble upon some pretty nice stuff. Purifying bath salts. So those of you guys who are worried about warp and don't like some of the effects of it, and honestly, I've been doing a lot of warp research lately, and I haven't been getting anything too bad, so I'm not too worried about it, but purifying bath salts is cool. What it does is it allows you to drop the material purifying bath salts into some water, and what it'll do is it'll soothe away all the temporary relief from the effects of warp. So basically, it'll protect you from warp effects for a little while. And they're not too hard to make. You just need to get yourself some Sano and some Arm. Not terribly hard. So that's pretty cool. Just be careful with them. Another option is Sanitizing Soap. So this stuff is a little bit more complicated. You need to get yourself a tallow block and some more complicated stuff. What this does is basically it makes it so that any non-permanent warp that you have can be reduced, and any temporary warp that you have will be completely eliminated. And we'll get into the differences between those types of warp in a little bit once we get access to some more warp-related stuff. But for now, I'm continuing to do research in an attempt to get more and more warp. I think I've gotten to the point now where I need to start doing some crafting to really amp up my warp game. A good route to take is to maybe make some flesh golems or some advanced golems. These advanced golems here are pretty cool, and they will make for some interesting mechanics. I need some Victus, Sensus, and Cognito. Maybe I'll take the 2 golems that I have out here that are working already and turn them into advanced golems and show you guys what that's all about, because these advanced golems are pretty cool. It gives them more upgrades, and they are just better all around. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. I'm going to need some zombie brains, redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, and a jar or 2. That shouldn't be too hard to get my hands on, so let's get it. I'll be back once I've collected all the resources I need for this. I'm going to get a couple extras of everything, of course. Alright, mister, you're coming with me. Let's see, is it... There we go. Cool. So I think that means he'll keep his upgrades and his marked locations and everything. Hopefully this will transfer over once we... Hey, you're supposed to go with me. Aren't you supposed to go in there in the middle? I'm pretty sure that's where you belong. There we go. So we're going to want this guy and these each. And then, oh, you know what I do want is my wand. So you are there. This, and that. And this should give him some good stuff. So that's going to cause some warp and some negative effects now and again. Did something just get knocked off somewhere? I think my jar might have been. That's what it looks like to me. There we go. I should really do some stabilization techniques around this altar. Maybe that's something I'll work on soon. Now, does this get me warp? I thought it would, but it didn't really indicate that it did. We did get some of that stuff up there, but that should get cleaned up by this thing, so that's cool. Look at you. A little bit of a less friendly looking guy. Yeah. So you should work, right? Yeah. That thing should connect up to everything. Cool. Let's get this guy upgraded as well. You're with me, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully this time the jar doesn't get destroyed. If it does, we'll just hope it doesn't. So it's not indicating that I'm getting warp from doing this, and I thought I would, but I'm not. Oh well, not the end of the world. I have some other methods to get a lot of warp really fast. Whoa, big explosions. So far everything's safe though? So far. Nice. I think we're good. There we go. And you still remember all your locations. Awesome. I'm just going to test this real quick. Let's toss some redstone in there. Make sure this guy does what he's supposed to do. Nice. Oh yeah, notice how much faster he is already? That's cool. Oh, and our taint is getting cleaned. Awesome. Good job, Flux Scrubber. I might make a couple more of those, to be honest with you. Maybe put another one on this side of the room. That would be cool. Alright, so let's continue getting warp. So guys, a surefire way to get yourself some warp is to do the following. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there we go. You've gained warp. So crafting flesh golems equals warp. That's definitely a good route to go. So I'm going to do that for the next few minutes until I get enough to unlock the warp tab in my Thaumonomicon. Alright guys, I decided the one Flux Scrubber was just not enough. So I made more. This should help clean things up a little bit faster than they are currently getting cleaned. That ought to do. Nice. I might throw one over here. I guess I'll keep them over here for now. I hope this range is good. I might wind up with... That's not the pattern I wanted. There we go. That should help. Cool. Alright, back to crafting flesh golems, and I think I found another way to get warp. So there is one more approach to collecting some warp. Brains. Unfortunately, it looks like brains only give you temporary warp, so I'm going to continue crafting and be right back. Uh-oh, looks like I just got Eldritch Epiphany. So the next time you get one of those crazy little headaches that occurs as a result of having too much warp, after you've received enough warp to unlock it, you get a new research tab unlocked. Ooh, that's cool. So this is where the craziness starts to happen. One of the first things you're going to want to make yourself is a sanity check. Let's go ahead and get one. So, sanity check, you're with me. Ooh, we can also get this and this. And anything else I need to unlock at the moment? Nope. All right, back in a moment once I've done some research. So what do we got here? A couple nifty gadgets. And of course you're going to get warp from doing some of these researches, so be aware. Warp is a thing. It happens now. I got a couple more researches that I can do that we'll definitely take a look at. The void metal caps are definitely cool and a nice thing to have. But the first thing I want to make real quick is the sanity checker. So I'm going to need a thermometer. I'm going to need some mirrored glass, some zombie brains, and a diamond. All right, I'm going to get the ingredients here, and then we're going to make this and probably have to wrap up the episode right after that. So 24 cognito, 24 senses. I don't know if I have enough of that left from the crafting I did earlier. All right, we'll be back. Alright, hopefully I've got enough of everything because we're activating this thing. So sucking in a lot of cognito and sensus. I should have plenty of those things. Awesome. And then of course we needed a little bit of alienness, and that went in somewhere around here. There it is. That comes off Ender Pearls, by the way, is the best source for that. Provided that nothing too crazy happens right now, I think we should be in good shape. Dun 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 dun. So the Sanity Checker is a great way to find out how much warp is currently affecting your player. And we're going to see that here in a moment once all these items get sucked into this thing. There we go. Sanity Checker it is. Notice on the top left corner of my screen, there's two colors to the warp. There's the darker one, which I'm pretty sure I want to say is the permanent warp, and then the lighter one, which is the normal, the sticky warp, and I don't know if temporary warp is represented there, or maybe I'm wrong. I always kind of forget which colors are which, but basically you can see that I've currently gotten about 25% of the way up, and that's what's required to get to this current research tier that allows you to unlock the Eldritch pages. Now there's more to unlock in this screen, and we will be checking out some of that in the very near future. For now, it is unfortunately time to wrap up the episode, so what I'm going to do is a little bit more research and get ready to show you guys some of the more crazy areas of Thaumcraft that I don't think you've ever really seen on my channel. So for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and as always, take it easy.